Hello everybody, cheers to the majestic Monday. We are discussing chapter number 5, Indigo from Flamingo. So this is the third meeting for the chapter, dear students, and it will take another a meeting or two to conclude it. But the longer it lasts, the better it is. So we will get to accumulate more and more about Mahatma Gandhi, the champion of Indian independence, the freedom movement. So it's a golden opportunity for each one of us to relish that we are getting to know about a man like Mahatma Gandhi. We are reading about him, which even the current Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is a big fan of. Is a follower of Mahatma Gandhi, and he's ruling the country on the principles of Mahatma Gandhi only. And as a result, you can see he's liked by one and all. And he gives the entire credit to this man, Mahatma Gandhi, who had made himself immortal through his deeds. So let's continue. We are reading it on page number 4, dear students. Last we discussed that Mahatma Gandhi was really grieved to know that the lawyers they were collecting big fees, big sums of money as a fee from these poor peasants. So Gandhi told them that it was their moral responsibility to help these sharecroppers, help these peasants. So Gandhi did not like the idea of collecting fee, first of all, and secondly, he did not like the idea of taking such cases to the court of law repeatedly when it was not doing any good. And according to Gandhi, it would not do any good until and unless they get the peasants free from the fear of Britishers. Gandhi pointed out. He figured out that the first step to be taken as a necessity is to take them out of the fear of Britishers. First, they should learn to claim their rights. First, they should be aware of their rights, and then only they would claim it. Once they're out of the fear, once they would know their rights, once they get to be somewhere independent, then it would be the right time to move to the court, but not before that. So then we were discussing about the sharecropping arrangement. On the top of page number 4, like most of the arable land on the Champaran district was divided into large estates owned by Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. As I told you, Indians would work as tenants on the land, and the land actually belonged to, you may say, the British planters. So there is a word here I would like to tell you, serf. So Indian peasants were working as serfs, okay, where the land is not owned by the peasants. They just work on it as tenants. They are serfs. So this is time I flash myself off the screen and continue with the chapter. So large estates, arable land was owned by Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. The chief commercial crop was indigo. I explained to you what commercial means. The landlords, they compelled all the tenants, all the peasants to plant 3/20th or 15% part of their holdings with indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. Now this was a long-term contract, so there was no respite visible in the near future, and they were crushed. It was deadly, more deadly than an epidemic like corona, right? Now when all this was going on, there came a twist. There came a changeover. Now, what was that transition? What was that mark of transition? The harbinger of transition? What happened that changed the matrix? That Germany had developed synthetic indigo, and to the result, to the effect, the market demand of natural indigo stashed down, dropped down to a great extent. Because when natural indigo was up in the market, there was no demand of the natural indigo. So it stashed down all of a sudden to a great extent, and then they knew that there was no point. There was no point asking the farmers to grow natural indigo anymore. So, but the news still did not reach the peasants. They were still unaware of this development that Germany had developed a natural synthetic indigo, peasants, they were clever enough to stop the farmers, to stop the peasants growing indigo on any part of their land holdings for 15% or anything, because it was almost useless. There was no demand of natural indigo in the market. So they had to find a way out. So what they did, before the news reached the peasants, they just carved out a plan. What was the plan? They obtained agreements from the sharecroppers to pay them compensation for being released from the 15% arrangement. They gathered all the peasants and they told them with great politeness that they are relieving them of 15% arrangement, and against which they were to submit one-time payment. And it was such a happy news. It was like a dream come true for those peasants, as they were crushed under the deadly weight of this arrangement for years. So they, at any cost, wanted to get rid of this and wanted to come out of this irksome arrangement. So most of them, like even today, you see everything comes at a cost and there are conditions levied on it. So that arrangement also, that treaty also was with some conditions applied. But like always, the conditions were not big and bold enough to be seen. They were somewhere intangible, but were there for sure. But the poor farmers, they were unlettered, they were illiterate, so they could not read through the conditions for this treaty. And another reason is, under a fit of excitement, they just signed the documents willingly, most of them. A few of them resisted also, and they engaged lawyers. And when they engaged lawyers, the landlords, they hired thugs. Thugs are the people who illegally or forcibly collect the extortion money. So they hired thugs to recover the money. Meanwhile, the information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants as well, and now they felt cheated, and now they wanted their money back. Now, it is at this time that Gandhi arrived in Champaran. There are some questions given for your reference. List the places that Gandhi visited. Yeah, this is how it will be very helpful. If you solve these questions, if you answer the questions, if you write the answers to these questions that come along the text, it will be easy for you to memorize and remember the facts, especially for factual chapters. So this will give you an opportunity to learn all the places you visited in sequence, in order. Second question is, what did the peasants pay the British landlords as rent? The entire harvest? And what did the British now want instead of it, and why? They wanted one-time payment, and they were relieving them of 15% arrangement. And why? You know that. What would be the impact of synthetic indigo on the prices of natural indigo? So at this point of time, Gandhi arrived in Champaran. He began by trying to get the facts. Yes, as I told you earlier also, that it was not Gandhi's style to act or to react without contemplating or without accumulating the sophisticated information or facts about any situation. It was his pattern of working. So what he did, before taking any action, before reacting against the Britishers or against the system, he decided to collect more and more information, and to collect more information, to look into more deeply, to look more deeply into the situation of these poor peasants. He visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. Now, this is to be noted. Who did Gandhi first visit and why? So, first, Gandhi visited the secretary of the British Landlord Association. Why? To gather more sophisticated information and to know more about the sharecropping arrangement prevailing in Champaran. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider. The secretary refused plainly to help Mahatma Gandhi with any kind of information, and he told him that they could not give any information to an outsider. Gandhi was extremely disappointed to hear this, and he felt that he was not an outsider. How could he be treated as an outsider in his own country? Anyhow, Gandhi let it go. Next, Gandhi called on, as I told you, is to pay a short visit. Gandhi next visited the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division in which Champaran district lay. Yes, there were divisions also. Even today we have divisions. So, along with the districts and states, there is division also. So, division is what under a district falls. So, Champaran then fell under Tirhut division. So, divisional officer, the official commissioner of the Tirhut division, which Gandhi called on, you know what he said? He, instead of furnishing any information to Mahatma Gandhi as demanded, he rather proceeded to bully him or torture him and advised Mahatma Gandhi to leave Tirhut forthwith. Forthwith means immediately. But Gandhi did not leave. No one could order me about, he thought, in my own country. This is the violation of his fundamental right. No one could ask legally him to leave the country because, as a fundamental right, one can reside in any part of the country. Our Constitution provides this fundamental right to each and every citizen by birth, by default. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari, the capital of Champaran. Instead of leaving, he moved further. Now, where? Where did he head to? He headed off to Motihari, which is the capital of Champaran. Several lawyers accompanied him to Champaran. Now, at the railway station, a vast multitude, multitude is a big number, right? So, a big number of people greeted Mahatma Gandhi at the railway station. He went to a house and he used that house as headquarters in Champaran, and from there he continued his operations, or you may say investigations. Yes, still it was phase one going on, where he was collecting more and more information, where he was uh, looking at the disposition of the people around. Okay, he was judging each and everything. So he was looking into the attitude of the people, attitude of the authorities towards, the peasants or the poor. He went to a house and he used the house as the headquarters, and from there he continued his investigations. A report came in that a peasant had been maltreated, badly treated in a nearby village, and Gandhi decided to go and see what the matter was. So next morning he started on the back of an elephant. Gandhi had not covered much of distance when he was overtaken by the messenger of police superintendents of the district, who ordered him to return to town in his carriage. Gandhi complied. Gandhi agreed because Gandhi was himself a lover and strict follower of law, irrespective of who the law is framed by. So Gandhi complied with the order and he returned back, not on the elephant this time, but the messenger himself drove him home. Not only that messenger drove the Gandhi back home, he was also served, Mahatma Gandhi was also served with an official notice, means eviction notice, you may say, to quit Champaran immediately. But this time Gandhi could not comply because this was the violation of his fundamental rights. So Gandhi signed a receipt for the notice and he wrote on it that he would disobey the order. Though the though the objective was not to disrespect the law, but it was because he had a greater respect for a bigger law, the law of his conscience. In consequence, Gandhi knew it, that he would definitely receive because he had turned down an official order. Therefore, he was well prepared for it, and as a result, as expected, he received summon to appear in the court of law the next day. It is still time. We can cover up for some more passages, paragraphs here, dear students. So, before appearing in the court of law the next day, summon is actually the official notice to appear in the court of law. So all night, the previous day, Gandhi remained awake. He did not sleep because he had a lot to do before going there, before appearing in the court, because he may know that they must have hatched a plot against him, that he might also be sent behind bars. But he did not want the movement to come to a halt. Which movement? The movement to help the peasants of Champaran. So what he did? He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with all the influential people, with all the influential friends. Not only that, he sent instructions to Ashram and he sent a full report to the Viceroy also. So what happened as a result? All came, and when they were taking Mahatma Gandhi, when he appeared around the court, morning found the town of Motihari black with peasants. A multitude of people gathered there at the site around the courthouse. Now, why had the people come? It's not that they knew Gandhi's record in South Africa. No, they were not aware. The only thing they knew was that there was a Mahatma who had come and who wanted to help them, and that he was in trouble with the authorities. So they were there to help him. The spontaneous demonstrations in thousands, in the number of thousands, they demonstrated around the courthouse, and it was the beginning of their liberation from the fear of first. For the first time, they had raised voice against Britishers. So they held demonstrations. They uh, enunciated out loud the slogans for liberation and for liberation of Mahatma Gandhi, that they should set him free. He was not guilty. So it was the beginning of the liberation. This is to be noted. This is to be noted. What was the first sign that the peasants were coming out of the fear of Britishers? It was when they held demonstrations around the courthouse. Yes, the officials. Let me see the time again. Yeah, so this is all for today, dear students, because it is difficult to upload bigger files. So I'm stopping it here. So I'll cover the remaining part tomorrow. So let me see how long it'll take more. It will take definitely it's going to take 2 more days to complete it, maybe 3 days. But we are in no hurry. We have plenty of time. Whatever we'll do with quality. Quality should not suffer at all. So this is all for today, dear students. See you tomorrow with the remaining part of the chapter. Thank you. Have a nice time.